Recordez-vous. With thunder and everything. Wasn't even my sound effect. And
there we go.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast land and on American Hammers TV. We are the Columbus E13. With me, as always, is Mr. Marc Rostan. Hi, Marc.
Hey, Kev. How are you?
Yay. Marc could make the stream. Once again, we were waiting for our buddy Eric to come through. Eric
so flaky.
Had a very important date, apparently, with his
hiking in the rain, we would say.
What?
Hiking in the rain, evidently.
Yeah, hiking in the torrential downpour.
Air quotes over everything.
We're going to go for as long as we can here before we lose power here at the house because it's really storming outside. It's not as bad as it was like 20 minutes ago, but then right when we started, thunder, and I lose power here like, Beirut.
You in that flood zone.
Yeah. Your audio is still really low, so just remember to yell. Yeah.
Right.
Is that the same thing you used last time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's really weird. Maybe you know what it is? You're fine. I had two headphones on. I can't hear you here, but I can hear coming out of my speaker. Hold on.
So smart. The technical genius.
I'm telling you, dude, the setup here is so janky. And then last time we did it, I also had my fisheye lens stuck on there, which meant you could see all of the trash and garbage in here. Like, this room is just not podcast ready. I'm telling you, dude, it's like a nightmare over here on this. So there's 50 masks and mask stuff and just, you know what I mean? There's extra things of tea because we all have to keep so much food around the house as we would take as few trips to the grocery store as possible. So I got like 15 gallons of Arizona unsweet tea over here.
Dude, I feel it. I mean, I made special accommodations knowing that we'll be on video and just like cleared off this dresser top here.
Look at that.
Always, making the provisions, but feel it.
Look at Jerry today. He's dressed. Wait a minute. Let me get some music on for Jerry. Jerry is ready for the summertime in his chapeau to beachwear, and looking handsome as ever, isn't he, with his mask? But he's ready for the heat. He's
as ready for this season to be done as we are.
I mean, we really are, aren't we? I mean, come on. Hi, Marc. Good to see you again, sir. This
you as well.
Be the only place we really get to meet for now. Hopefully that will change in the near future.
We keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we keep our fingers crossed. So once again, Eric was supposed to be here, like I said, and we thought we almost had him convinced, but he had a hiking date with his lady friend. I'm assuming lady friend. Really, he just said bird. So maybe he'll need to clarify that.
Details are scant as of now.
Yeah, he's pretty closed as far as the personal side of things. You never really know.
We used to know, and now we don't. So we can air all that laundry on a future episode, I'm sure.
Well, we used to see him, and now we don't. So it may just be some odd character answering his text these days. We don't really even know that it is him. Although when he starts throwing the opinions around, we know our buddy the Hebrew Hammer is there on the other line somewhere.
Yes, I know he's definitely watching matches and keeping up with the table.
Yeah. All right, Eric, please join us soon. Your last text said next time, lads. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
We have something in writing.
Right. after the Chelsea win, I actually talked to either Billy or Mick. One of them was considering to be on the show today, but then I've been hitting them up on Instagram since then, and they're unavailable. They are, cosmopolitan young lady socialites and in London town. So who knows if we'll ever be able to catch up with them. But I wanted to talk to Michaela because she bartends at the Carpenters,
right.
And amongst other things, amongst her many talents. And so now that they've reopened pubs there in the UK, like I kind of wanted to get her take. Like I know they weren't open for the Chelsea game, but they were open for this past Sunday. Did you see Thomas's Instagram? So Thomas, who was on on one of our last shows from the West Ham Experience, he posted a picture from his local pub with a full pint, and as the game was getting ready to begin on Sunday, and he said something clever like, I don't usually post porn and I'm not going to try to get in trouble, but this is as close as it gets. So they are obviously very, very happy that their lockdown has come to a close.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about that.
If they can, hopefully they can keep it that way.
Then I saw on CNN where they're like, basically everybody in London is walking around Soho like it's a festival, like, a gazillion people, nobody social distancing.
Taking a cue from their Americans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, yeah. Good stuff.
Well, they keep that up, they're going to catch right back up with us. So
yeah. Well, I mean, unlike MLS, at least they're probably will be able to finish the season in whatever fashion that might look like.
Right. Well, it's less than a month away now, so we'll see what happens.
Right.
Speaking of the rest of the season, did you watch Norwich today?
I checked out the final score. I can agree with you. I don't know if they did any favors, but, I'm really leaning into just punching down and, shoving right now 3-4 teams beneath us and trying to go as negative as possible on that front.
Right. Well, Watford came. I mean, Norwich scored first. If you only checked out the final score, I had it on, but I was cutting out flyers and stuff, so I could hear it, and then I would check back, when I heard scores and stuff. So the Canaries scored first, but then Watford came back. It was 1-1 at the half, and then I missed the second. I saw the first goal for Watford. I didn't see the second.
I saw Danny Welbeck scored for Watford for the first time since he was still playing for Arsenal, playing against West Ham.
Wow.
Coming full circle.
How many years ago was that? 2 years ago?
It was like 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Look at that. Oh, okay. Well, you didn't even watch the game and you knew more than I did. Yeah, he scored in the 55th minute. So, in any case, so now Watford and we are now tied on points again.
Yep.
But I guess we're ahead on goal differential. Is that what's going on there?
The first time you can say that all year, I think.
Okay, so both of us are at 31, and
it's like
goal differential. We're at -18. They are at -22. So that's a 4-goal swing. So that's at least one game of comfort, I would think. 4 goals. Yeah, you never know. So Watford has next. Watford has Newcastle. And we know that they can be problematic and score quickly. We'll talk more about that in just a minute because that's probably 1,000% our fucking fault. And obviously we have Burnley and then
Norwich.
Norwich. Okay. So let's get into it. Because even though we've had an extended period of time to finish our taxes here in the States because of the pandemic, guess who hasn't filed them yet?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So I have this giant pile of papers back here in the corner that right after I'm done here with you, I'm going to pile them up right here. I'm like half done, but I'll get done post haste.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Norwich didn't do us any favors. I thought, when I saw 1-1, I was like, okay, well, if they can hang on, but they just couldn't do it. But
draw would have been ideal. but
it really would have. In whatever form, a draw would have been totally ideal. But I mean, when it comes right down to it, this is our fault. You know what I mean? Like, really, like, what is going on? What is going on with our defense, dude? This is a David Moyes team. The defense is supposed to be what is the strength here.
This defense has not done any better or worse than what we've been watching all year. I mean, because we didn't have a show for the Chelsea match. And, it's been clear that Ogbonna being back at center back is a game changer. But, we knew coming in
a good way.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, not having Balbuena start is a good thing. But, we knew going in that Cresswell was, over the hill, was not going to, was going to keep himself exposed. Mm-hmm. Fredericks has done, marginally better, but still, I think as we talked about before, not rated. It continues to be this left side that is predictably and has been all year so open, so exposed. It's way too predictable. And it's just unfortunate that, mental toughness has not come into play on, understanding the stakes.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you. That left side has been problematic. The people filling the roles there are sometimes really awesome, but sometimes just not. It's like they're empty set. But the problem for me, especially against Newcastle, wasn't necessarily over there as much as it was Fornals over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if he's handling the ball and juking through people, looks pretty good. But I mean, the thing is, I saw a lot of criticism about Fornals in the different blogs and stuff after the game. Mm-hmm. And having watched it, I don't know if I was in the middle of eating something. I just kind of missed that
it was so quick.
He was substandard. I didn't really get where he was coming from. So when I rewatched the game yesterday, I was like, oh, what the hell was that? He's drifting out. That's like the whole reason that second goal was like he drifted out. That's the only reason it was on.
It was like he was trying to force an offside trap, totally botched it, right?
Yeah, he messed up big time. I'm sure he knows that. And well, all I can really, because I'm a big fan of the Spanish Prince, you know what I mean? What can I say? Let's just hope he learns from that. I mean, especially with a coach like Moyes. Moyes has got to be blowing the guy up. This is what he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, you know right. I mean, he was right to say like he was disgusted in the post game. Mm-hmm. In the post game, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty disappointing. It's just weird how a draw feels like such an incredible disappointment, and I'm not even sure that I felt like 100% we were going to be going into the game like with a win or anything like that. It's not like obviously with our squad, it's never a sure thing, but. When we go ahead twice and lose the lead twice, I mean, that's kind of like disheartening.
Yeah, I woke up thinking to myself, just get a point. I think like a draw was like the more realistic expectation I had going into this. But then, you start off so well. And then, to absolutely fall asleep for like the middle 20 minutes, only like, start tracking back up again and, showing signs of almost a Pellegrini-esque team in a way that they were getting it forward. They were just lobbing shots, like, like their life depended on it.
Right.
So that made it even more disappointing. If only slightly numb to the fact that they've now dropped 24 points from winning positions this year.
24 points from winning, far more than anyone else. I saw that on one of the, I think it was like PL Review or something. Funny thing is, those guys that were on that show, that was Dion and Don Hutchinson and Dion Dublin and the regular team on there. Like they still think that West Ham's going to be okay. It was funny. They were still putting them in the relegation fight, but they seemed to just think it was going to be okay. Of course, that was before Watford equaled us up on points. You know what I mean? So
yeah, It's very otherworldly to me because it seems like the consensus view from the pundits is that they can make it out of it.
Right.
I think we've gone through too much this year to really buy into that yet. I think there's a chance to change that mindset, say this time next week.
Let's hope.
We know that there's no guarantee of that.
Right. Well, you never, like, as a West Ham fan, for some reason, you just can't really feel safety. You know what I mean? So it's odd. What do you think is going on with the fact that Moyes either forgets that he is allowed to have 5 subs or just won't do it? What is going on there?
I think it speaks to just how poor the side is, and that he doesn't trust any of these guys to come on. Maybe that, I think that narrative has changed a little bit since Yarmolenko has come on. But yeah, I mean, you look at that bench, like, who would you trust to go on and be an impact sub? I was so mad that Marc Noble came on.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could say Marc Noble, but Noble comes on and kind of does what? The biggest piece of entertainment from Noble for me was when he tried to tackle Andy Carroll, which was funny. Even the commentator was like, he shrugs him off like he's not even there. I mean, he's like 20 feet tall compared to Noble. You know what I mean? It was funny, but other than that, Noble just kind of he definitely didn't like offer much. He
didn't move it forward. He just, every time he got a touch, he slowed the game down. I think there was some point where you have a midfield that could work a little bit better. Right. But he's all about touching it back. Let's bring it back toward the goal. Let's maybe hoof it forward. I mean, I know that Declan gave the captain's armband to him when he came on.
Which I also thought was weird. I mean, if Declan was leaving the field, then I guess.
Well, I mean, he's still officially skipper. So, give it to him. And I understand, like, that's, customary. But it was clear that he was still in charge of that side.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, he was the one that was actually showing intention, actually passing it forward. I was so impressed with him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, just willing to get forward, to show some endeavor in a way that we haven't seen in a while.
Now, do you think that the manager is just kind of like letting him be in that role, kind of like to help solidify, what his heart obviously is going to tell him to do, whether we go through the drop or not, and stay at the club?
It's too early to think about that.
That's a pretty robust question with like 50 parts to it. But, I'm just so worried about the guy leaving. You know what I mean? He's absolutely the most talented man on the field. You know what I mean? Should be the future captain of the club. No doubt about it. There's all kinds of stuff going around about how next year is probably going to be Noble's last year anyway. The whole thing is like, it still begs the question of why did Marc Noble come on? Now, I'm trying to like look back through the game stats. What I didn't know was that Noble came in for Lanzini. That's what I was looking for. So Lanzini also looked a little bit like a firecracker dud that day. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't
as good.
It wasn't really clicking for him.
It wasn't as good as the Chelsea match. No, I was actually like silently impressed with him in the Chelsea match. Just, unlike Felipe Anderson, he would actually like track back, actually, defend as you needed to do. Felt like he'd lost some of that against Newcastle.
Yep.
But it was definitely not a 1-for-1 replacement. And, I think Yarmo came on probably like the 70th, 75th minute.
75th for Fornals. And that's actually what I was checking. I was trying to see if Noble came on for Fornals and he didn't. I was trying to see whether or not that happened after Fornals made that mistake. And then let the goal happened in the 67th. So Noble was already on the field at that point. No, that was six. That was that. Yeah. Shelvey in the 67th minute. That's correct. So, and then Yarmolenko came on for Fornals in 75th. Either way, it's odd. We're allowed 5. We're taking 2. It's not like the people are really like looking like like they're dragging ass. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, like Antonio is a hot rod. You know what I mean? The cat looks like he's ready to die in the 15th minute because he's just carrying so much heft down the field. You know,
he's kept, fair play to him for keeping up that intensity, for a full 90 minutes. And you can only hope that Hilaire can be healthy for these next two matches, and hopefully provide some relief. Because I mean, it's obvious from Moyes' comments that Ajeti's not going to play. I think Zondi's
on the bench sitting there, and you could always see him in the background whenever they showed the
but he's made comments of like get on. But he's made comments of like, yeah, I mean, I've seen of him what you've seen of him. It's like, this obvious throwaway, and it's not his player. Like, it's not his player. It's not a system that he's going to be in.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think Moyes doesn't do himself any favors by making a move like putting Noble on. Right. I will also apologize for him to some extent by saying that he doesn't have people to sub on. Right. This is not a good bench.
That's true. I saw something in his pregame comments for tomorrow. First of all, that Haller might
it's been touch and go for an entire week.
Yeah, but he was having a fitness test like this evening, which could basically qualify or disqualify him for at least being on the bench tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that means that no matter what, we won't see a change of formation tomorrow. There won't be two up front. And, because unless Haller comes in as a starter, him and Antonio being up front, we won't be changing it to that kind of attacking position no matter what. And I just think that always gives us our best chance no matter what. But, who knows if he gets to play, maybe he'll come in relief, and then maybe the game after that. Well, I mean, we'll see. But also in those same set of comments, he also said that Anderson, and he didn't say it was because of an injury problem, was just he was not on the squad for tomorrow. So,
I mean, he picked up a late injury before Newcastle, if I'm correct.
Yeah, but was it a real injury? You know what I mean? Sometimes
there's enough conspiracy theories floating around.
True.
More Hilaire with this like installment payment they keep talking about. But I would venture also just to say that he sucks, and there's no space for him on that squad. Put somebody like what was his name, Alfie Mawson on there. Put these academy guys. There was some academy guy that we had never heard of, some midfielder.
There was some guy on the team like 2 games back.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking. Yeah, not
Lewis.
Sunday.
His name
was Lewis. Yeah,
Lewis. I was like, who is that? I was like looking at my phone, like, what?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I guess I'm not watching enough PL2 or U23s or whatever.
I'm just taking screenshots and sending them your way. So that's all I know.
You do a great job at that, by the way. Thanks, Marc, for the intel. All right. So, oh God, what else?
You had it.
Nobes is healthy. Should we care? I mean, he's obviously going to be on the field tomorrow. He is definitely whether he's up to playing his best or not, he is a team leader. I'm just, and I've heard from so many people, from so many fans on all of the social media that he's like, he's costing us a player on the field because he's lost his step. He's not as good as he used to be, blah, 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 blah. And maybe it is better that he just cheerleads from the sidelines. Maybe he should just pick up the coaching hat right away. I mean, Rice is doing such a great job when he is in there as captain. I don't know. Like, what do you think about that?
He obviously looks tired. Yeah, he doesn't look like he's up for this fight. And when he has 100-day layoff, I think that's different when you're, 33, pushing, 33 now. Is that what he is? Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I mean, we were saying, like, if you have to like reach back in your mind to fall and winter, when we would say like, it's like every 5th game or so was when he would have a good performance. And you just don't have that kind of time anymore. And with this short layoff in games, Yeah, I don't know. You want to believe he's still fit. You want to believe that he still has a contribution to the team, but we're watching the same game. We're seeing the same negative tactics with him,
right?
Helping anchor that midfield.
I definitely think he still has a contribution to the team. I'm just not 100% sure it's actually on the pitch.
Unfortunately, right now, that's what he can do. That's all he can do.
Right. When you start hearing, so many voices like screaming that please, let him fade into the sunset, I start like looking at it a little bit differently every time I see him out there. And, I still absolutely love the guy. He is that, he bleeds claret and blue, just like all the things they say. And he is Mr. West Ham. But if he needs to be given up the role, the funny thing is if he feels like it would benefit the team, I think he would actually come and tell Moyes, don't put me in there. You know what I mean? Just like he has before when they needed him too many games in a row. And he was like, look, man, I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's honest about it. He's always got the team's best interests at heart. But at the same time, he is being paid to be a player. So if we see him out there,
he didn't even make the bench against Chelsea, right?
Right. Well, he was hurt.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know what the injury was, but he was hurt. So he didn't make the bench because they said he had an injury, but then he was fit for Newcastle. So I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him being hurt this week. So, I mean, he's going to be playing tomorrow. You know what I mean? And more power to him. I mean, I hope he comes in and kicks ass. I really, really do. And I think it's really just about whether or not somebody gives him his spinach that day. You know what I mean? Let's get Popeye and his forearms out there.
At any rate, he deserves to finish the season, however it is.
Fuck is Popeye.
What,
Speaking of tomorrow, what do you think? Do we stand a chance against Sam Dyche and the Burns?
Man, they're they're ninth place. I mean, they're a top half of the table team. I think they've done enough. They've done enough for Burnley standards.
Yeah, they're 10 right
but
now.
I mean, the only thing I've really read about them in the last week was the growing discontent with Dyche and the board.
I've heard the same thing.
I think we let our 3 out of contract players go, and we're like, yeah, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Right.
Maybe not so much for Zabaleta, but nothing really lost there. Burnley, they're feeling it, and he's a guy that's contract's up. They might have some sort of distraction about them. I can remember Rebecca Lowe saying right before the Newcastle match, like, "Oh, and West Ham will hope Newcastle's on the beach." I think it's a similar scenario, and I think I feel like I go into this match with the same mindset that I did on Sunday, where it's like, obviously they should win, and you have to hope that they can punch above their weight a little bit. But am I thinking that it's just going to be a draw? Yeah.
You're thinking draw. You're thinking draw. We're right into the predictions. I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying. I don't really know. I mean, they are a top half team. They obviously have been playing better than we have this season. I haven't been paying that much attention to the Clarets because, I just hate that they have our colors. I hate it. But be that as it may, I mean, we desperately need points to put some more space between us and the bottom right now. So we've got to come up. We've got to figure out some way to come out with something tomorrow.
And I mean, you still look at it as you have these matches against Norwich and Watford and Villa. And, you would venture to say that those are easier games. Not really, but games you feel like you could have a go of it more.
Right.
I feel like this is just one, again, I feel like it's one that you come out, you hope that they don't, screw up the way they did.
Right.
And just have these mental lapses. But, who are we kidding? They have had mental weaknesses characterized this whole season.
Right. Absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
So, yeah, I mean, would I be happy with a draw? Absolutely. I mean, at least that keeps you in your current position. Mm-hmm. It keeps giving some distance from the bottom three. And,
gives us a point and continues our regular goal differential.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. We maintain that distance with Watford, right. And, keep hoping that, because I can't remember if Bournemouth and Villa play this week or not yet. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's coming.
Yeah. I mean, you have to take heart in the fact that these squads have arguably tougher schedules than West Ham has to finish out. And, they've gotten some help so far. Now they need to realize that they can keep helping themselves. And a point to me is helping themselves. At least for tomorrow.
A point would be helping ourselves. Actually, I don't think Bournemouth plays Villa again this year.
No, Bournemouth and Villa respectively. They're both of their sides.
Okay, I thought you were playing each other. I got so confused. Speaking of confused, you sent me a text right before I left work today about something that was in the Guardian about they're going to wait to negotiate Antonio's new contract until the season is over. Funny thing is, like 10 minutes before that, I saw something on Claret & Hugh about the fact that he's already, and this was probably from earlier in the day. I just hadn't looked at it, but they had said something about that he has made a statement that he wants to finish his career at West Ham. So something's going on. He's in the last year of his contract, or next year is last year of his contract? Okay.
Next year.
Right. Yeah. But he doesn't want to go anywhere.
I don't see him going much anywhere else, Right. Obviously finish the season. I guess I still think it's too early to be talking about prognostics for who's in, who's out, and what you do. But that we're already talking about it, and that you see quotes from Moyes of like, "Oh, we got to know which league we're in." I
mean, all of those things are valid concerns. You know what I mean? Yeah. We do have to know which league we're in. I mean, obviously, if we go down, I think that Antonio continues forever and a day to be Moyes' guy. Now, if we stay up, so Moyes has brought in 2 players since he came back to the team. Both of them are doing pretty good.
Absolutely.
Now, do you think you don't think that like the Bowen thing was in the works before they let Pellegrini go, or Souček was in the works? I kind of am under the impression that those guys were both Moyes players brought in.
100%. They don't
really say again.
Oh, 100%. They don't fit that profile of who he was trying to bring in.
Right. And he doesn't really have like a summer transfer window to be working with, which is kind of strange because like, even though we're playing games and it's summertime, as Jerry will let us know, it's strange that nobody is doing any business. This is when we're used. I'm thankful that we don't have another 3-month period of waiting for something to happen because of transfer windows. And even though like I know that the 1920 season is due to be over at the end of this month, do you know? Look, I should probably know this, but I don't know when the next season is due to start, because that's usually like the second week of August, at least for the Premier League.
Obviously not then.
Right. So there's going to be some kind of a break.
Well, whatever happens.
Probably not very long, though.
Whatever happens transfer-wise, it's going to happen pretty fast and furious. Right. And it'll go.
It's going to be a shortened window then, the whole transfer deal?
Well, and again, I don't know when the next season is supposed to start. That's just not something I've really had the bandwidth to even look at.
Look at it.
It's just like, let's play these last 10 games. What's on your plate now? So, I'm thinking about it, and obviously we're seeing the rumors come about as evinced by that link. But we'll talk about that later, I think.
Not a whole lot later. It's going to be coming down our heels here pretty soon. Assuming we do stay up, I bet we're going to be talking about it in like 1 or 2 games. What happened to your lights?
Oh, there we go.
It was weird. So you must be illuminated by the light coming out.
When we started this show, there was some glow of sunlight, and now that's all gone. So, I am very much, in a darkened room.
Oh, it's okay. We're almost done. But anyway, so Antonio, I don't want to see him go anywhere. I love the guy. Guy's just loaded with heart. And I'm not sure I've ever seen anybody play with the effort that he has, especially in the past couple of months. I mean, I've seen him run out of gas before. And if he runs out of gas, like he just lays on the grass and like, please take me off.
I'm just glad he stayed healthy.
Yep.
We've gone through like 2-year stretches where that was not the case. And, it's just, we're lucky that he hasn't given out or had picked up some freak accident.
I got my toes crossed.
Exactly.
Hammers crossed. Okay. So, we are going to be at the pub tomorrow. I don't think that you're coming down still.
I will actually be on a call.
You got work stuff?
I'll be working. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, from home, but, committed, at least for the first. Background. Yeah, I will hope to be off at least to see some of the end of the first half.
Sure.
And then, by the time was it 1:15 kickoff?
1 o'clock. I mean, dude, the weekday games are killing me as far as attendance goes anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though, for all of them so far, there's always been at least one other person other than just Heather and I.
Uh-huh.
Amidst the fears and the reigniting of the surge in COVID cases and all kinds of other stuff. And, and I'm wearing 2 masks down there and I won't touch anything. And I mean, it really is like, it does feel as safe as it could be. Like I saw this whole chart, like the most risky things that you can do, like other than sitting in your house, which is the safest thing. And like going to like a loaded stadium or a bar.
I mean, that's like 0 to 100. Yeah.
Yeah. There's seriously only a couple of us in there. I mean, I already tried to talk to you about it in text, but again, like no pressure. Yeah. Everybody's got to pick their own thing. And I totally respect that. But I just miss you guys. That's all. I miss out hanging out with everybody.
This whole situation sucks. But we're here and we're still alive.
Yeah.
And we still get to talk about. I mean, we still get to talk about the rest of this West Ham season. I feel bad for.
Thank God.
Exactly. I mean, with the news around MLS sounding more and more gloomy by the day, I'm all the more thankful for it.
That's true. What do you like? The MLS is like in big trouble.
Yeah, the bubble.
How many people have we heard now tested positive?
Well,
down there in Orlando?
Dallas has been kicked out of the tournament because they've had so many positive. Oh
like
yeah,
the team altogether.
Yeah. I mean, Nashville has like 7 or 8 positive cases.
I heard there were positive cases on the Columbus Crew, but I did not know.
There was one.
How many. Oh, it's only one?
And I don't think we know who. And then, even if you're not testing positive, like Carlos Vela has opted out of the tournament.
Right.
And so your marquee, your marquee player is like, nah, I'm not doing that. And you see the same in baseball too. I mean, it just speaks
basketball, everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's this very just bungled, and I fear just ultimately doomed attempt to try to get sports back going here.
The funny or not so funny thing is that, we're in Columbus, Ohio. So you and I know how things are here, and the Ohio State Buckeyes basically rule
the
entire city. No matter what professional sports team anybody swears allegiance to around here, this town belongs to the Buckeyes. And the big thing, like we were watching the local news right before I jumped in here and got set up to talk to you. And I saw this campaign where they have like a hashtag, I want my season kind of thing. And I'm like, what the hell is that?
It's more for high school sports.
Was for high school sports. Hashtag my season. And they're talking about moving football, like American football, over to the spring. That doesn't seem like a terrible idea to me, honestly.
Yeah, it sounds better every day.
Yeah. Anyway, so Marc, good talking to you as always.
You too,
we will be, like I said, I know that I will be down at the pub tomorrow. I think Heather can leave her banking duties here on the other side of this table and come down with me. I think actually 2 other people were coming down too. So
all right,
we're gonna hold the fort for everybody else and hope that we can pull out 3 against Burnley. It would be really, really nice if we could get 3 more points tomorrow. That would be super sweet.
I'd feel so much better.
Oh, me too. All right, brother. Well, come on, you irons. And we'll talk to you soon. We are the Columbus E13.